Show me the money.
Just looking good, but I think I'm taking too long.
The spot for a Glock. I took a loss over floss, but still got a knock.
Money! Gary, does that make you feel good just to say that?
All right, we are back here. Show me the money. NFL picks for week number 4. Joining me today, one of my good friends, a big diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, the great Will Smith, not the actor, not the catcher on the Dodgers, not the reliever either. This Will Smith. Will, how are you?
Mike, I'm good, my man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. At least you have a real football team to watch. Mine is just straight trash.
Yeah, it's still painful to watch, though. Losing games at the buzzer, basically. Still painful, but we are competitive, unlike your Jets, no offense. But, hey, Trevor Lawrence coming to New York.
Yeah, I think he is coming to New York. I had a debate with our good friend Justin Diaz earlier in the podcast talking about, like, which New York team is most screwed. And I was judged to win that debate because the Jets are clearly more screwed.
Yeah, if the Jets don't win Thursday against Denver, I really don't see them winning the game, to be honest.
Yeah, and the thing that worries me, not that they're not going to win, I'm worried they're going to win like 7-6, and then Adam Gase gets justified to keep his job for the rest of the season off of that one performance.
Adam Gase should have been fired before the season started.
You're telling me, man. I mean, watching this game, they're just so bad. But enough about my team. Let's talk about your team. They had a interesting performance up in Seattle. They lose at the buzzer to the Seahawks. What was your big takeaway from that game?
I look at it this way as a big Dallas fan. Yeah, obviously it sucks to lose. But if you look at it, you're missing 2 all-pro tackles, a left tackle and a right tackle. Zach Martin was playing right tackle. He's a guard, midway through the third quarter, and you're playing practice squad players that were undrafted. And Prescott's still throwing for 450 yards. I can't be mad losing by 7 to probably one of the best teams in the NFC in Seattle, no less. Granted, fans are non. But yeah, no, it was a great game. Also, secondary's hurt. We're missing both of our starting corners. Our safeties are very exposed, as you can tell. DK Metcalf running all over the field. Tyler Lockett, every touchdown he caught was wide open.
But yeah, I definitely could see the problems there for sure. And the other thing I think is interesting with this team is seeing how Mike McCarthy has done the first couple of weeks. I know you were a big get Jason Garrett out of here guy, and now you have Mike McCarthy. Do you like him yet or not?
It's still out there. It's, the first couple of weeks, it kind of looked like Jason Garrett was still there minus the clapping.
So what was the big issue what was the big issue you had with McCarthy for a couple of weeks?
I just feel like he was too aggressive. The one game against the Rams, 5 minutes left on the 18-yard line, kick a field goal, tie the game. You get the ball back with less than 2 minutes left. You're going for the win. You're not going for the tie. So it's just little things like that, especially week 1 when there's no training camps, there's no preseason. Take the tie there and try to go for the win at the end.
Yeah, I did read something about last week against Atlanta, the game that you guys came back to win in, and especially the point I think late in the third quarter, they went for 2 down 9 instead of taking the 1. And McCarthy basically explained, I actually like this explanation. He said that the reason he went for the 2 is that he wanted to give himself more information to make decisions, because the way he knows if he got the 2, he would only be down 1 touchdown and be able to play that way. But if he's down 2, he could run the offense more aggressively, try and get down the field quicker. And that did end up working out for him in that sense.
Yeah, no, it totally worked out. I mean, obviously it worked out. We got an onside kick, and then we scored the winning field goal. But I would personally, I would have taken the 1 point there, knowing you're down just 1 possession instead of 2. How many times you get an onside kick back? You know what I mean? So it was kind of a tough decision to make. I would have taken the 1 point there, and then if you lose because you can't get a 2-point conversion, that's a different story.
Yeah, I think the way he was trying to phrase it, basically saying, hey, you know what, like, I know I can get the 2, if I miss the 2 now, I can just need a touchdown and a field goal. But whereas, like, if I take my time, go down and miss the 2, I lose the game automatically. So he's basically giving himself more time to score more points.
I totally understand what he's saying, but also you get a touchdown and a field goal, you need the ball back twice. Instead of a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, you need 1 possession, and hopefully you can get the 2.
Yeah, it's also true that Atlanta also did themselves no favors there with like horrific clock management down the stretch and not jumping on the onside kick.
Hey, 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Nick Foles this past week.
Hey, I mean, I could be worse. I mean, I had no expectations on the Jets going this year. I thought the Falcons were going to be good. That just is so bad.
Yeah, they also have some injury concerns as well. Julio Jones is in and out, a hamstring problem. He's a big part of that offense. I mean, Calvin Ridley has been the best wide receiver in the NFL so far this year, but not having Julio is a game changer.
Yeah, and this week with Cowboys though, they're back home again. They're hosting the Cleveland Browns. They are favoring this game. What do you think about this matchup?
I didn't take it in. Oh, did I take it in my pick? I look at it this way. I think the Cowboys are going to win by 7-10 in that game. I really don't think Baker Mayfield has taken that extra step. You have Odell, you have Jarvis, you have probably the two greatest running backs together in a backfield with him and Hunt, with Chubb and Hunt. But I think Dallas pulls out a 7 to 10 point win, probably like 38-30 or something like that.
Yeah, I think the way I look at that game is basically the Browns are going to decide how this game is played because they can control the tempo of the running game. They'll keep you guys off the field and they'll get a closer game. But like if the Cowboys can shut down that running game, I think the Cowboys can run away with this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the next few games for the Cowboys are all winnable games, so I'm not worried being in that worst division in the football.
Yeah, I mean that division is 2-9-1, and one of the wins was a division win, so not a good start for the NFC East.
Not at all.
All right, let's go to the picks for this week. We'll reset the picks challenge. Our good friend Kevin Lillis was here last week. He says hello, by the way.
Hey, Kevin, how you been, man?
Yeah, I'll let him know you said hello, and he had a perfect 3-0 week on the picks last week. He had the Chiefs last night getting 3.5 against the Ravens. They won that game blowing away. He had the Vikings getting 2.5 against the Titans. They lost by 1. You got the Steelers laying 4. They won by 7 against the Texans after falling behind early. So 3-0 for Kevin on the week.
Yeah, that's a lot to live up to for me this week.
Yeah, I also went 3-0 on the week. So I've had some good weeks going here.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Yeah, I had last week. I took the Colts laying all those points against the Jets. That was a laugher.
That it was.
Yeah, I had that one. I had the Lions getting 5.5 in Arizona. They won the game outright. And I had the Buccaneers laying 6 in Denver against the Broncos. They won that one going away too. So a perfect 3-0 there too.
That's a great week for you too as well, folks. You and Kevin Lillis 3-0.
Yeah, the picks are perfect last week. On the year, Team Challengers is 8-1. I'm also 8-1. So if you want picks, this is the place to listen right now because we're on fire on here.
Yep, so I hope I don't let the listeners down by going 0-3 this week.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's get to the picks right now. You're up first as the guest. Pick number 1's going your way. Where are you going with that one?
I'm going, and I called it before. I'm going with my Dallas Cowboys -4.5 at home against Cleveland.
Any reasoning behind that pick besides what we said before?
They're home. Dallas plays well at home. It's a bounce-back game after losing last-second interception. I think they win this game going away. Like I said, 7 to 10 points.
Yeah, I think it's a fair call there. I would take Dallas, too, if it was up to me. I'm not using that game, obviously, but where are you going with your next pick?
I am going to New Orleans. New Orleans favored by 4.5. I just think they have a bounce-back as well. Drew Brees, I don't know if Michael Thomas is back yet, but I feel like that team is too good to lose 3 in a row.
Yeah, that one scares me a bit. I know the Lions have been in every game. I know they blew 2, but the Saints defense has not been good. Kenny Galladay's back. I know I even fantasy have a big week next week, but that one scares me. I did not want to go near that game, but I can get the logic there by backing the team that's more talented on paper.
Yeah, I just looked at it. The Lions are probably, you always hear about the letdown game after maybe beating a team that you shouldn't have in Arizona, that they come out a little flat this week.
Yeah, it's certainly a fair argument. Let's go to your last pick. Where are you going to pick number 3?
I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it. But I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons +7. It can't get any worse for that team, can it? They got to at least cover that spread. Just don't be up 20 points in the fourth quarter, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and that's on Monday night against the Packers, and I think it could be a letdown game for the Packers, that big game in there. Plus, Atlanta blows the lead. They still cover the spread if Green Bay comes back a win.
Exactly. That's why I took them.
That's like 4th each chest there, Will.
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm up now. Pick number 1. I'm going to stick with the trend here. I'm going to pick against the Jets again. I'm going to take the Broncos laying 3 points in MetLife against the Jets on Thursday. I mean, you know it's bad when you're coming in there with your backup quarterback, with your third-string quarterback, so now that Brett Rippon is starting, without one of your top running backs, without receiver, without plenty of line, you're still favored. This tells you how bad the Jets have been this year. They don't belong on the field with any other NFL team right now. Gase get himself fired after this game. This is just not a good year for the Jets, and I think it's going to continue here. I think we're going to see Gase go by. Denver wins by at least a touchdown. Pick one.
Yeah, I just see you're looking at a 9-3 game right there. You think about it for those two teams.
Yeah, it's going to be some ugly football on Thursday. I mean, my God, if you have unless you're have like a death wish, I would not recommend watching this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things to do in life than watch that game.
Yeah, watch the MLB playoffs. Don't watch this.
Exactly.
All right. Pick number 2 for me. I'm actually going with a dog here, a home dog. I'm taking the Chicago Bears, getting 2.5 at home against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm a big believer in the switch to Nick Foles. I think he's got to unlock that offense. We saw what he did last week with Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller and the like. And I think the Colts, they're a little overrated right now because this team is beaten up on the Jets, beaten on the Vikings, who are combined 0-6. The one road game, they went on the road to Jacksonville and lost. The Bears are good defense. The Bears, I think, will be better offensively with Foles in there. I'm getting points at home. Give me the Bears to win this game outright. Pick 2.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Obviously, we all know what Nick Foles can do when he comes in for somebody. So that's a good pick. The Bears are rolling right now. They got a great defense. I take Nick Foles over Mitchell Trubisky any day of the week. So I think the Bears are going to be a team to be reckoned with in the NFC.
All right, that's pick number 2. Pick number 3, I'm going back to Russell Wilson. Russ is going to cook down Miami this week. They're laying 6.5 against the Dolphins. And this is a step down in weight class for them. Their defense has been shredded, but they've also played New England, Atlanta, and Dallas, who are 3 great offenses. Miami has some weapons. Fitzpatrick can be dangerous, but their defense is not great. They are still adjusting to all new personnel. I'm getting under a touchdown with Seattle. I think they'll win by at least 7 points. So give me Seattle to go 4-0 here, go on the road. I know it's tricky at the 1 o'clock game on the Eastern time zone, but I think they can do it. Give me the Seahawks, laying the 6.5, pick 3.
I mean, that's a good pick, but after last week, I wouldn't like anything more than Ryan Fitzmagic just lighten up the Seahawks this week. I can't stand Russell Wilson after last week. He was playing against our practice squad defense, but he's a great quarterback, great pick. They should win by at least double digits.
Yeah, to reset the picks, Will has gone with his Cowboys, laying 4.5 at home against the Cleveland Browns. He has gone with the Atlanta Falcons, getting 7 points in Green Bay on Monday night. See if they don't choke this game away or at least keep it close. He's gone with the Saints, laying 4.5 in Detroit against the Lions. I have gone with the Broncos on Thursday, laying 3 at MetLife against the hapless New York Jets. I have gone with the Chicago Bears, getting 2.5 at home against the Indianapolis Colts. And last but not least, I've gone with the Seattle Seahawks, MVP candidate Russell Wilson, laying 6.5 in Miami against the Dolphins. And those are your picks for week number 4 on the Just End the Suffering podcast. Next week, new guest of the podcast on the pick segment, my good friend Chris, not the Mad Dog Russo. We are going to talk New York football next week, and I don't think we're going to have a win to discuss next week, Will.
I really don't think so either. I don't think the Giants are going to L.A. and coming anywhere close to beating the Rams. And to be honest, flip that coin on Thursday night. I know you're going with the Broncos over your Jets, but that Jets team is a total disaster. And it's a good thing for you, Jason being fired, get a new quarterback at the beginning of next year. Hopefully things are looking up for the Jets.
Yeah, my one worry is that the owner loves Gase, and the owner has defended Gase for so long. My concern, as I've said before, is what happens if we squeak out a win? And then he's going to sit there and say, oh, it'll work. We'll keep Gase for longer, and then he'll keep screwing up this quarterback.
I mean, you also have to look at it from the other perspective. Denver's coming on a short week to across the country. They have their third string in there now, don't they?
Yeah, Rippon's starting.
Yeah, and if they win that game in New York, how can you keep the guy? You haven't looked competitive in 3 weeks. You look competitive for 8 minutes of the game on Sunday. So I don't know how you can keep a guy who doesn't keep his team competitive.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's the injuries too, because I mean the Jet receiving core on Sunday I don't think could start in the XFL, let alone the NFL. But we've seen San Francisco got basically half their team out, just find ways to win games. The Jets don't even bother.
Yep. So I think the Jets team as a whole on Gates gone as well.
All right. Well, thanks for all the time. I really appreciate it. Before I let you go, any plugs you want to make for social media?
I just really have Instagram. It's W_Smith1124. I'm not a big tweeter, as most people are. But I post a lot of Cowboys stuff on Instagram, and that's really it.
All right. Well, thanks all the time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Anytime, man.
All right, that was Will Smith with the NFL picks for week number 4. Up next, I'm going to talk to our legal correspondent, Phil Ferreira. We're going to take a dive into the world of MLB, NBA, NHL, what comes next for them after these seasons wrap up, plus the return of college basketball right after this.